And welcome to the channel. I just went. Hello, everybody. My name is DocBrowz, and welcome to the brand new DocBrowz channel. I'm gonna go ahead and be gaming for you guys, and I thought I would start off with one of my personal favorites, City Skylines. Now, City Skylines is one game I've definitely put over 100 hours into, and I figure I want to continue that, and why not go ahead and share it with people who might enjoy that. So, I'm going to go ahead and be recording my cities on YouTube, and I'm going to post them for you guys, because I really want some engagement from the community. I really enjoy building cities, even though this one here that you're seeing right now is one of my older cities. It looks a bit dated. It looks a bit basic for the most part. No real beautification going on. I actually kind of quit that one in the middle of it, and I really just have some inspiration. I want to go ahead and start a new city here. So without further ado, let's kick this thing off. Okay, and so for this city, I went ahead and pulled some inspiration from some of the places in Florida, actually. In nice tropical areas, lots of water, lots of sand and beachy areas. Florida does have a lot of natural water inside of it, but without creating my own map or using a custom map, I wouldn't be able to get that same effect. I decided I was going to go ahead and use one of the base maps, actually, to try to replicate Florida. And so here we have Sandy Beach, 63% building area, all connections, which for Florida would be true, all connections. And you have all resources here, which for Florida, it's going to be mainly farming, technically, but we'll go ahead and see what the game throws at us. You know, if there are some good farming areas, we may go ahead and do that. If you aren't familiar, Florida in the United States actually grows a ton of oranges. They supply oranges to most of the United States. So that's where all the farming mostly comes in. So I'm going to use Sandy Beach. That's a one of these one of the maps that comes with the base games. Now I do have DLC and the DLC maps. I don't have every DLC. I think the only ones I'm missing are Snowfall and Natural Disasters. Not gonna lie, don't have much interest in getting the Natural Disasters DLC. Snowfall, I very well may go ahead and download at some point, but we'll see. I have all of the other DLC though. I have Parklife. What is this one? Sunset Harbor, Campus, in the Industries DLC, and Green Cities, as well as, let's see, what were these ones? I'll go ahead and actually I'll go ahead and list that in the description. So go ahead and check out the description for really want to know all the DLC I have. I know I'd have at least one more, but the only ones I'm missing here, at least for the map portion, are going to be Natural Disasters and Snowfall. All the other ones I do have, but I'm going to pick Sandy Beach from the base stock game. I actually looked through most of the maps, and this one could be somewhere in Florida. So I'm going to go ahead and use Sandy Beach. Keep left-hand traffic off, because, being in the US, we're going to go ahead and have that right-handed traffic. And I've actually given this a lot of thought as to what to name it, maybe what to base the map off of, or base the build off of, I should say. And I really love the area in Florida, St. Petersburg. Obviously named after a city in Russia, but St. Petersburg is a very nice city, with a lot of waterways, a lot of some really good highway connections. Florida itself is very gritty, just because there is a lot of flat land. So judging by this map here, there may not be a lot of flat land. I actually did check it out before, and it was mostly flat. So I'm going to go ahead and work with that. Since Florida is mostly flat, there are no real hills, no real valleys, nothing like that. So let's go ahead and get it started. waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. Waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. Waiting, we're waiting. Alrighty, so here. Wait, let me turn that one down. Okay, so here is our map. We're gonna take a little look at it here. We do see some hills and some mountains out in the distance, but for the most part, it seems to be mostly flat. I do see little slopes here and there, which aren't that uncommon in Florida. It's not super flat. It's not anything crazy like a big old slab of concrete. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the game is paused at the very beginning. Let's see, it's got this little tip here. I don't need that. So let's see what we have to work with the initial tile. And one moment, just to let you guys know, I am playing with mods. I do have a few here. I'm not gonna lie, the one mod I use the most is the Traffic Manager Presidential Edition. You can go ahead and find the most updated one in the Steam Workshop. This is the one I'm working with currently because it's the most updated. I do have Road Anarchy loading screen mod, which you guys won't see because I'm going to cut out the loading screens from these videos. But I do have loading screen mod and Roundabout Builder. I use Roundabout Builder every once in a while, but for the most part, it's Traffic Manager Presidential Edition, followed by Roundabout Builder, maybe 15% of the time, maybe Traffic Manager 85% of the time. These other mods I don't really use a whole lot. I really have them just in case, but I haven't really found much uses for them. Because as of right now, I don't know, I'm having a good time building cities with just the mods I have enabled. So we're going to keep on trucking with what we got going. And I just saw this theme for road signs. Yeah, we'll definitely have US signs and that mile per hour, because if it's a Florida-based build, we want to keep it to the US standards. So let's see what we have to work with here. We have one highway connection. It looks like over here on this other tile we have a train connection. Already immediately we have a bunch of water to work with in these immediate areas. Left tile, right tile, down tile. Even up tile looks like it. Actually, this up tile here may not have any water to it. Let's see. We probably won't. But it looks like most of the other tiles that we can get right after this one are going to have water with it. So, water is a huge theme in Florida, and we have plenty of beach area around here too. So, as of right now, it's looking very Florida to me. Maybe some of the more island Florida, maybe something like the Keys, but, either way, we're going to keep that Florida tropical vibe here. So, now, one thing about Florida is that it's actually very gritty in terms of traffic systems. So the traffic there it's mostly built into grids, and then within small portions of each grid, you'll actually see like that's where maybe like the residential areas. You'll see that's where like the freeform roads are, the curvy roads, things like that. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and try to achieve here. And let's see, it looks like it's just a so since it's just a normal T intersection here from the base game, what I'm going to actually do that I see in Florida all the time, is I am going to turn this from a highway exit just into a main road here. So this main road will go all the way down. It'll probably stop somewhere towards the coast, because the coast is where we can put a nice road going along the coast, and then kind of fit our grid in connecting to that in whatever ways will work. So first of all, I will start, and I'm actually going to start with some, gotta lay down that first piece of road first. So let's go ahead and lay down one small piece of road and delete it, and that just unlocks all the other roads, just in case you guys haven't played before. For some reason, the game only gives you that one single road to start out with, and you have to lay it down before you can actually unlock some of the other basic roads. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with that, and I'm actually going to start with a 2-lane gravel road here. And I know most people will normally start off with the roads they're gonna have. I'm gonna start with gravel purely to save money, because you know, the less money we spend at right up front, the better. Also, we always will have an opportunity to upgrade these roads, so I'm not very concerned with how it is at the beginning, as long as we have the ability to upgrade, which we definitely will. So let's start laying these roads here, and I'm gonna come. So basically, what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and lie this road down just straight off of this highway, so straight all the way down, and eventually I'm gonna upgrade it to a 2-lane. I'm sorry, 4-lane road that's going each direction with 2 lanes. And that's pretty reminiscent of a lot of Florida neighborhoods. What they'll do is they'll have a 2-lane road here, maybe, and then a huge 2-lane road here. And in between, in those little squares, you know, where the two-lane roads meet, they might have some 1-laners, some neighborhoods, some commercial sections, maybe. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And so basically what it'll look like at the end is it'll be like a big grid system, but within those small squares in the grid system, you'll actually see a lot of freeform roads, a lot of curves. You'll see some flavor. You may not see the same neighborhood twice, you know. And I noticed that a lot when I was looking through maps of Florida, because I was looking through a lot of Google Maps just to get a feel for how the Florida roads, you know, all connect, and basically how the flow of traffic is. So since it's all flat, grids work fantastic for Florida because you really don't have to work around much terrain. So they basically base everything off of a big grid, with some freeform here and there, you know. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and try to achieve here. So let's get started by laying down our first road. And let's see, I want to try to put it right in between these 2 nodes here. Or maybe right here. Let's try this. I'm just going to go ahead and try something, just a very small portion of road here. Make sure it looks straight. I think that's maybe about as good as I'm going to get it. Is that right? Or actually, here's what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and make a straight road. Let's see, about 7. Go over, go here, and then right in the middle, it'll be perfect. So 10 there. I'm actually going to delete these, since I know this is now in the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that gravel. I'm actually going to put 1-lane 2-lane 1-way roads. So 1 here, 1 here. Now I did curve that second one a tiny bit. We'll be able to go ahead and fix that later. Maybe I want to straighten it out. Maybe I want to make it a little bit nicer. Although, to the naked eye, it's not really too much of a problem here. You can definitely tell I laid this one first, because it's perfectly straight, and this one curves just a bit. You can also see that it has turning lanes to the left, and generally do not want that. And that is where this traffic manager presentation will come in handy. What I mainly use it for is to change the lane arrows, because this, having a turning lane just to make a U-turn, is not what we want for our city. And I really want to get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and leave it for now, just to see how it performs, but we may address that later. So let's get back to this 1 or 2-lane gravel road. So let's see, I went a distance of 10 units there. So now our big question is, where do we want the first major intersection between 2 major streets? How far do we want that from our highway, basically? So I'm going to say from here, where the actual highway kind of converges into our main street, I'm going to put that, I'm going to leave that as kind of the point we're measuring from. So we already have 10. And let's see, maybe 30? You know what, I'm going to go 30 more. I'll make the first major intersection here at 40 units. And I won't build any further currently, just because we want to keep our initial build nice and tight. And we really don't want to pack too much in at the very, very beginning. So, first thing we will need, let's see, is a neighborhood, obviously. Residential demand is at an all-time high, so let's go ahead and build a neighborhood first. This was 5 units. And let's see, conforming with our 40 units to the highway, I'll actually do, since this was 5, I'll do 35 units this way. And that is where we'll have another kind of major road go down here. And let's actually, I'm going to go ahead and just put a placeholder roads there so we can see that. So let's do that. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing this way because I want to make an industrial area on the other side where there are no neighborhoods. So I'm going to make a little industrial area here to start us off. I may put my initial neighborhood here and kind of leave this portion. I may have a road going up, but it won't be a main road. It'll be a main road when it gets to here and you go down. But since it's the industrial area, I don't think the industrial area will need a massive road coming in and out of it to get to the city. I will also go ahead and put a highway entrance here. So actually, let's do that now. A little highway. And let's go out 40 units. And so that's where we'll go ahead and start the industrial area. So let's make a nice little square there. And I'm going to make an almost square here because I don't... Oh, wow. Wait. Is that not right? What happened there? It looks like it's actually going to be... Oh, wait. 43. Perfect. So I'll actually do 35 here, leave 5 units, because I don't want the residential connected to the highway. I only want the industrial connected to the highway, because the industrial is going to use the highway much more, on and off. So we want that to have a highway entrance here. And, you know, this may look a bit blocky and ugly to begin with, but we're going to go ahead and tackle problems as they come, and maybe make this more efficient with a few changes. But I also wanted to leave some space here between the road and the, well, actually, let me delete a little bit of this. And actually make it come up to 30 units, just in case I want to build something crazy around here, maybe some massive intersection. We're going to see. And I'll leave this unzoned. I'll leave this road unzoned here. That way we can upgrade it later, because I know for a fact I want to upgrade it to a 4-lane road with 2 lanes going in each direction. So that's what we'll do here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on building our residential area here. So what I'm going to do for these residential roads, I'm actually going to put a very basic grid system. I know, and it's like, you guys are tired, you know, and most of the things I see on YouTube with other City Skylines players is, you know, everybody's tired of grids and this and that, and I completely get it. I'm not the biggest fan of grids myself, but To be perfectly fair, they are fantastically efficient, and they also are actually very common in Florida. In Florida, you will see grids everywhere, and like I said, it's mostly because the um, the land is so flat, so it's just most efficient to fit grids in there. So this is I'm gonna make the first one. Should I make another road here? I think I'm going to. Alright, so that'll be our first little neighborhood there. Kind of not a traditional grid neighborhood. I find that in the blocks of Florida neighborhoods, they actually have some strange designs, which I appreciate. I actually like that it's not just straight, this to this to this, and then you just rinse and repeat, and it's just, bunch of squares within the square, and that gets very, very boring. So we're gonna go ahead and make a kind of a strange grid here. I'm gonna leave some space for pedestrian path there, even though we may not need it. I'm just gonna do it for beautification. Pedestrian paths all along here, and to get to the main road. Basically, my plan. I may leave this road unzoned for now, and these as well. I may make a commercial pocket here and then rezone it over here once I upgrade the roads. My plan is to go ahead and build most of the things I need and then upgrade the roads and then maybe zone on those upgraded roads after they're upgraded, because upgrading from a 2-lane road to a 4-lane road does kind of mess up the zoning. So I'll leave that as is for now and we'll adjust it later. And so, actually, I may have made this too close here, this little turnaround spot, because I am going to be upgrading that road. Let's actually make it right here, like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're going to roll with that. So that'll be our neighborhood area. And then I'll build a small industrial section here. So let's actually get that started. So actually, I think I don't want the intersection very close to the highway. That's the one thing I do not want. And so I think I'll start that for our industrial section. I may kind of have just like rows going here, or maybe some kind of weird grid type thing. We'll tackle that as it goes. So here is our basic layout. I'll get that started. So now we're going to have to worry about water, and we're going to have to worry about electric. So let's dive into those right away. And this is the road layout I'm going to have for now. I don't think I'm going to make it much fancier for now. And as you can see, I still have $60,000 to work with, and that's why I use the gravel roads to begin with. And after you build your roads, when you first start, if you have like even just 30,000 or 40,000 left, you might be struggling to get your water and electric in there, and you may be struggling at the first few milestones just to keep up with those demands. So I decided to go ahead and keep this very, very simple. We will only grow it as we need, and I'm going to keep in mind which roads are the main roads that are to be upgraded to 2-lane roads, and which roads are only going to be upgraded to 1 lane. The 1-lane roads, we can go ahead and zone those now. Any roads we're going to upgrade, I'm actually going to hold off on zoning them right away, just because when we upgrade them, the zoning will be thrown off from our initial zoning. So let's go ahead and get started with water and electric. So I'm going to start with water. Check out a water situation here. Let's see. I actually want to see the water. And look at this. So the only patch of water we have here doesn't move. So what I think I'm going to do is generally, if this was moving, like if our tile had been over here, we could go ahead and put our water pumps upstream where the water's clean, and put our water, what are they called? Our drain pipes downstream where they would flow out and not interfere with the pumps. But since our starting tile only has, what is that called? Static water, or, water that's not moving, basically. And so there are two problems with that. One, if we put our drain pumps here, it will actually just pollute all of this, and this won't move. So it would take a long time for it to kind of unpollute itself, or I guess what's the word, clean itself, or just for the pollution to flow out. And if we put our water pumps here, as well as it sucking up, the waste from the drain pipe, it would also actually suck off so much water here that the shoreline may change a little bit, and the shoreline may actually recede a bit because they're draining so much water from somewhere where water isn't actually actively flowing. So for those reasons, I think I'm going to start off with water towers. And I'm going to go ahead and put them, let's see, we don't want them too close to the industrial area. Obviously, that's where all of our pollution is going to be. So, but I think we can, so if I want to put our industrial area here, I think we can just stick them out here with no real effects as long as our industrial area stays within this block, at least to begin with. So, I'm going to go ahead and stick one here, and let's say that's 60,000. Actually stick it kind of on the outer edges because of noise pollution and everything like that. And also, if we want to expand this industrial area here to across, because remember, this is going to be a little service road, and then it'll change to a main road, because there may be neighborhoods down here and whatnot, but up top, just for the beginning, we're going to keep it industrial. So I'll put that here, and so that's 60,000 that it supplies. Now, normally my only option would be a drain pipe or something like this, an eco water outlet. And with the DLC, which DLC is it? Is it Sunset Harbor? I think it may be Sunset Harbor. We get this inland water treatment plant as well. And so, eco inland water treatment plant. 10, okay, so we actually have two options here. And this actually matches, so two things. This inland water treatment plant is cheaper, but it does pollute a lot more. The eco inland water treatment plant is more expensive. Let's see, what should we do? I think what I may do for now, so what I want to avoid here is I really want to avoid having our water polluted, If you ever go to Florida, what's the first thing you expect? You expect the beaches to be nice, right? You expect the water to be clear. You expect a vacation spot where you will be able to swim without any issues. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep my water clean by not having any drain pipes, and instead I'll opt for the eco water outlet, or the inland water treatment plant. Wow, I said that completely wrong. So what I think I'll do is I'll stick it here, kind of on the edge, because I'm not really gonna put any industrial along this edge here or this road here. I kind of want to keep this open because it has the direct access to the highway. I'll leave this road open and zone down here, and kind of do some more zoning down there if needed. So I think I'm going to stick my water treatment plant here, because it's away from where you would turn from the industrial area. Literally, you would only come here if you had business with this building. So I'll stick it there. And it is also far enough away that if I were to stick one here too, it would also not affect our water tower. So that's a good thing. We don't want people drinking polluted water. And it's also going to save us money. And this actually has twice the pumping capacity of one of the water towers. So we'll end up having to add another water tower before we add another treatment plant. But at that point, I may end up using a different form of treatment plant. We'll go ahead and play it by ear. I'm not going to make any commitments now. So let's hook this up. Let's see, I want the overlay. There we go. So we'll hook those up there. And generally what I like to do, I like to follow roads. Actually, I won't gonna need it there because I want to zone down here. So I know, not everybody will do this. Personally, when I'm making my water pipes, I like to follow the roadways. I feel like it is realistic as well as very easy to keep up with. Like, you don't have to make any complicated patterns. You kind of just follow the outer roadways, and you will come to a point where, look at that, everything is covered with our water pipes here, and I only followed the roadways, if you'll notice. And unless I specifically can't, like in this situation, but generally I like to follow the roadways. It just makes everything so much more easy for me to follow and comprehend. Sometimes I'm watching these YouTube videos of other City Skylines builders, and of course I love watching other people play City Skylines as well. And they'll make kind of different grid systems for their water pipes, and they may not follow roads at all. And to me, it just seems messy. It's just a bit more difficult to keep up with. So that's what we'll do. So let's do that. Let's get some power in here. Coal power plant creates heavy pollution. So I'm actually gonna stick that. Let's see, what's the best place for it? You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make another road specifically for the power plant, since it is such a niche thing. Like, no, who's really gonna be at the power plant? So that shouldn't cause too much traffic. Let's see, and it still will be out of range of our water tower, so the pollution should not affect it. Let's go ahead and place it here. 19,000. And that is a coal power plant. Generally, I might opt for the wind turbines, but, anytime I have been in Florida, I have not seen any wind turbines. So I just think that's a bit unrealistic for my build here, since I really want to captivate the feel of a Florida city. That is my goal, and I will achieve that goal. So let's go ahead and start our zoning. I think we're ready. We have I'm gonna start the zoning over on this side. That way I can control where the power goes to first. It'll be much easier to keep our power demands where they need to be, and not have to build all these power lines just because, And actually, I think as long as it's touching, it'll actually carry power. As crazy as it is, it really doesn't sound right, but as long as it touches, it should carry power. So actually, I'll do this here. Boom. I'll do that there, and I'll zone this back part first. That way, anything built will immediately have that power supplied. So let's actually zone this entire thing as low density residential, and that'll just be our generic housing. And let's see, I have power, I have water hooked up, and roads. Okay. And we still have $28,000. That is fantastic. Because we are going to be upgrading these roads very, very quickly. So let's go ahead and get this started. And why does it say disconnected there? Let me actually try to fix that. Don't like that at all. Let's do this. I actually started from here. Go there. And then go across, and then across. Boom. There we go. Looks much better. I know for a fact that's in these power zones, so we'll leave that there. Let's get our city started. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this play for a minute. I may actually turn this into a time lapse because I realize that this episode is running a little bit long, and it's only our first episode. I've been kind of talking a lot, but no matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on 3 times speed, let the city grow, and let's see what happens. Okay, now as you can see, the houses are starting to move in here. I kind of did zone a few extra zones here. So those will slowly fill in. Our residential demand is not going to go up at all, so I'm going to stop zoning residential. Our commercial demand is going to go through the roof to begin with. So let's start with that. And I'm just going to put a small commercial pocket. Let's see, I'll keep it away from there. Maybe a small commercial pocket here, just to get us started. Actually, let's not do that. I'll do it, let's see, 4 back, and like that. Actually, not here, because I don't want the commercial to actually be on this road. I only want it to be on this road for now. I don't want it to be on that one either, so we'll keep it 2 steps away. Okay. And so while that's running, we can see our demands are going up here. I'm actually going to go ahead and end this episode. And we're going to go ahead and pick up where this one is going to leave off next time. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's just the beginning of our city, so please, please, please stick around. It's going to be a very exciting city. I'm going to put a lot of tourism and leisure areas from the, well, leisure being from the Nightfall, not Nightfall, what is it? After Dark DLC, I think it is. So we'll go ahead and do some of that. I'm going to make this really, really Florida-like and try to stick to the tropical Florida theme as much as possible. So stick around if you guys want to see anything in the next few episodes or anything. Just go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I will, probably respond. I may address it. I may even put your suggestion in my city. Who knows? But fan engagement is the name of the game. Viewer engagement is the name of the game, really. So I want to get you guys as engaged as possible. Please like this video, subscribe, just any comments. I would love to sort through the comments and get some ideas for how you want the city to turn out. Okay? So this has been another one. I'm sorry. This has been the first episode of DocBrowz Plays City Skylines. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.